Well, all right. President Biden will deliver his second State of the Union address tonight. And a new CBS News poll shows Americans have a pretty pessimistic view of the country right now. 62% say the country is divided, and more than 40% say the U.S. is weak. Only 11% believe America is prospering. Nancy Cordes is at the White House with more on what we can expect from the president's address. Nancy, good morning. It's good to see you. So, what are the main points that the president is likely to address in his address?
Well, good morning, Anne Marie. He's walking into a very different political situation this time around than he was last year. Now, the House is controlled by Republicans. Over his shoulder, instead of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, it will be House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a Republican. And so he is speaking to a very different political reality. And I think that when you watch the speech, that will be apparent, because he's going to spend a lot of time talking about areas where he thinks that he can work with Republicans, which is the only way he's frankly going to be able to get anything done in Congress over the next couple of years. So you'll hear him talking about things like addressing the opioid epidemic, talking about veterans, talking about mental health. These are issues that he has talked about before, but they are going to take central importance in this speech. He'll also talk a lot about the economy. He'll make the case, I'm told, for everything that he has accomplished over the past couple of years. And recent polling shows he really needs to make that case, because not only have Americans said in recent polls that they aren't sure what he's accomplished over the last couple of years, but in many cases, according to the latest CBS News poll, they think that his policies are having the opposite effect than intended. More than 50% of Americans in our new CBS poll found that his policies are making inflation and gas prices and the overall economy worse. So he is going to have a big job on his plate tonight, make the case about both what he wants to do and what he believes he has accomplished. He'll talk about the unemployment rate being at a record low. He'll talk about all the jobs that have been created over the past couple of years. And then, of course, he'll lay out what he wants to do in the year ahead.
So we just showed the viewers, his approval rating. It's kind of like this a very slight uptick at 44% or 45% right now. All indications point to him running again.
Yeah.
And often people look to the State of the Union address to give an indication as to what he may be focusing on should he be putting together a campaign.
Yes. And I think that, they're especially looking tonight because there's been sort of this long drawn out tease about when exactly he is going to announce his bid for reelection and how it will take place. We anticipate that it is going to happen sometime in the weeks to come. And so this is kind of the kickoff. After this speech tonight, he'll be hitting the road. He'll be touting his policies in various states. So will the vice president. But I think, the tone that he sets tonight, which is one not only of optimism, but also of competence, making the argument that he is better suited to steward this country than Republicans, that he has been a steady leader. He'll talk about not just the progress that the U.S. has made in leadership abroad, but also tout some of his big accomplishments at home, talking about investments in manufacturing, computer chips, and clean energy and infrastructure. He's really going to have to remind Americans what it is he has gotten done over the past couple of years, so that when they're looking back in 2024, they're able to say, okay, I understand what another 4 years of a Biden presidency would look like.
And of course, the Republican response will remind America of what they believe he hasn't done. Nancy Cordes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So our coverage of the State of the Union address kicks off today with a special edition of Red and Blue at 5 p.m. Eastern. Stay with CBS News throughout the day, though, and night for continuing coverage and analysis.